Hey guys, welcome back to Dormicon Blockchain. We haven't posted a lot of freaking anything for a long time, and I'm looking all haggardly. Ha ha ha. But there's a reason. We're approaching Halloween. It's time to look disgusting. And John here is playing right along. For more game painting.
The important thing to remember is I didn't have to try to look like this.
Yes, I did. So, why are we doing a video like this right now? And I will tell you right now, if you thought, Dormicom said Halloween, I think that's a clue, ding, then you would be correct. So, this all kind of started last Halloween when John was gracious enough to get me a copy of Amnesia: The Dark Descent. And in doing so, we have had more or less, I would say, man card competitions. Would that be a...
Let me put it this way. I've played 13 and a half hours of Amnesia: The Dark Descent, and I know that off the top of my head.
Wow.
That's how important it is.
13 and a half hours?
You know how long you've played that game.
Wow. Yeah. So, it's not really competition, like I said. We're really there for one another but we need to be there for one another because we don't pussyfoot around here. Okay. We do not look for, that looks like it could be a slightly scary game. No, we go for the most terrifying computer experience that one can find. And before you guys go, they're going to play Slender Man. No, that is weak. It's weak. It's really stupid when the end of the game is you die. You found all the thing and you die. That's just dumb. It's fatalistic and we don't go there. That's just stupid. If you don't have the drama for the possibility of surviving, then you can't really truly experience terror at its most gruesome form. So anyways, we started with Amnesia: Dark Descent. We then moved over to Penumbra, which was a precursor or spiritual precursor, I guess. It was really just made by the same studio. Not quite as scary. Would you agree, John? I mean, don't get me wrong. There were moments.
I forgot we played it.
There were moments.
Honestly, that's the factor of how unscary it was compared to Amnesia.
I actually think if I brought up a couple of things, John would realize and go, that wasn't in Amnesia? Nope. We then played Amnesia Justine, which on some levels, I guess, and I'm only I don't want to do any spoilers here. Water level, far more difficult in Justine and more rude to the person playing than in the water level of Amnesia: The Dark Descent. Would you agree with that statement?
The moral, and I've said this before in other videos, and I'm sure you could go back and find them if you wanted to, but to this day, if there is ever a hallway that is poorly lit and has 3 inches of water in it, I'm not going down that hallway. I don't care what's on the other side of it. My dog could be over there. My girlfriend could be over there. My own mother could be over there. I don't care. They're on their own. Yeah. They can take care of themselves. I am staying on this side of the door.
I would say that I would add the one caveat that if any place I need to pull a switch and and there's that water on the ground, forget it. Just not interested. I don't care what kind of money's on the other side. Not playing. But anyways, we were really, really looking forward to the possibility of playing Amnesia: Machine for Pigs. Unfortunately, the Chinese room, the guys who were developing the game, basically after Fractional Games, who originally created Amnesia: The Dark Descent, re-released Amnesia in the Humble Bundle and in a bunch of other basically the cult following of Amnesia grew so great that Fractional Games stepped back in, even though they had handed the developer reins over to the Chinese room and said, we're not releasing this in Halloween because the level of anticipation for this being a terrifying game has risen to unbelievable limits, and we have got to add more things. So on that end, John and I sat down and searched for the next scary game that we could play during Halloween. And I came up with, after looking through pretty much everything that Steam had to offer, I suggested, why don't we take a look at Call of Cthulhu? It's an older game. But then John finds this quote, and John, I'd like to go ahead and have you jump in right now and talk about the quote.
Yep. So the quote that I found was from the Daily Telegraph, and they say they're going to rank it number 2 in the scariest games that you've never played, as second only to Amnesia: The Dark Descent, adding that the only problem that we had with the game was it was far too scary, far too tough, and overall too short.
So you start with Amnesia, which I would not classify as an easy game. Would you classify that as an easy game?
No.
No, okay.
The short version is just no.
Just no. I mean, can it be achieved? Yes, and you get your man card when you achieve it. When you step through the hallway on the other side and you've achieved the man card for Amnesia, then please feel free to join us in future Halloween games. But you guys, on the Dormicom channel, my other channel, we actually did a video that was watch other people play. We didn't bother showing any game footage whatsoever, and we just took out the bigger highlights of us actually playing Amnesia: The Dark Descent. We're going to do the same exact thing with this game. The reason is that we do not want to spoil the game for people. I don't want to do a playthrough. So if you're looking for gameplay footage of Call of Cthulhu, I'm sorry, we're not posting it for multitudes of reasons. I don't want to deal with any sort of, future SOPA, PIPA, BS, blah, 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 blah. But the bigger reason, by far and away, is I don't want to ruin it for people.
What it comes down to is you're a little girl if you go on YouTube and look for playthroughs of these games that you might want to play.
Yes, John
you
and I...
just man up. And go.
John and I have specifically stated that the man card is immediately revoked if you go to any other place to look at footage before you play the game. Anything beyond what Steam has to offer as either a demo or their version of the trailer of the game, you go to YouTube, lost a man card right there.
The only things that I've looked at are the Steam stuff that they've got, the still shots and the video on Steam, and the that one quote that I just looked up while I was trying to find the game length.
Right, and so we're trying to figure out how long the game is because we're going to attempt to play it during the week. And what I mean by during the week is I mean Monday, actually later today, October 15th.
Like 18 hours from right now.
I'll be honest with you, after John read me that quote, I'm a little nervous about this game. I'll be honest with you. And, yeah, it's going to be a good time. So I have a question for you guys. We're going to be literally filming everything in this kind of Uvu call format. And like I said, the other reason we don't want to film the footage, I don't know if you guys have seen gameplay footage where you can actually see down the hallway in, like, Amnesia. Anyone who's playing it that way, pansy. You got to play it the way they want you to play it. Dark room. You should barely be able to see about 5 feet in front of you. Is that about right? Like in gameplay terms, if you can see beyond 5 feet, you are a pansy playing this game.
When it asks you to do that slider, the gamma slider,
yeah,
you put that shit at the left-hand side. Not over here. Over here.
Well, I will
suggested bar. Over here.
Yeah. You start with suggested, and if you're there, pansy. Anything less, and you start increasing points to your man card status.
The further down here, the more gold leaf is on your man card.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I will be frank and honest. I think on my playthrough of Amnesia, I probably didn't have a whole lot of gold leafing on it. I think if this was recommended, I probably was, and then this is the correct direction to get more card points. If this would have been like, but I will tell you right now, my card settings were so ridiculous that when I went to the farthest end, with torch or with a candle lit, I couldn't see anything. You could only see literally the candle. So
there was a lot of parts in Amnesia where you had to find stuff on the floor. So, you you have to get to the point where you can actually finish the game.
Right.
Like when you're looking for like the syringe in the water level on the floor underwater, and you can't see anything anyway. Good luck beating that level. You
Good times.
You gotta have it. Yeah. Gives a whole new level of difficulty.
I totally forgot about the syringe, man.
Yeah,
it's towards the very end,
ingrained
right?
in my brain. Basically, the water level, I could close my eyes and tell you how it goes right now. Like the number of boxes left in the hallway.
Jump over this spot.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Well, let's be honest, John. How many times did you actually play through that level? Now, I'm not talking about the final time, because you played that level many times. When we first started playing Amnesia, you had gotten through the water level 2 or 3 times, but like couldn't get farther, a little bit beyond that. And then when we started doing this game in parallel, I got to tell you, it's a good experience. If you ever have not played a terrifying horror game with a buddy over like Uvu, it's money. Now, here's the crazy thing: we film ourselves not being able to see ourselves. Or do you throw Uvu up on?
I turn my screen off.
Okay.
I turn my screen off because it's too bright otherwise.
Right. So we don't want. So as we're playing the gameplay, if you see us start doing. We really have no idea what our facial expressions are doing. Normally with me, and you'll notice how dark my room is, so you might not actually see that much of the facial expression, but you'll be able to get a sense of just how crazy things are going. What I might do is bump up the gamma on the video output, so that maybe you'll be able to see, like, do a little bit more contrast. I don't know, maybe that'll help, because it is kind of dark. But John is awesome to play a game with, because there were times where I couldn't get the scream out. I'm like, and then I'd hear John, run away!
I'm a very vocal person.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
I get choked up.
Yeah, no, in the movies, I would be the guy at the front of the pack, before anything scary happened. I would be already in the car trying to start it screaming. And then something would happen and I'd hear everybody in the house start screaming.
But you would survive, and in the gameplay terms, you've gotten through that game and you've gotten your man card. So
Exactly.
Regardless,
that's the important thing.
And we don't like I said, we don't play stupid games that think they're scary. Dead Space, whatever. That's not even close to what we're talking about here. Any list that you guys out there seeing where they're like listing the scariest games and they don't have Amnesia as like 1 or number 2, maybe just take that list, ball it up, and throw it away, because the person who wrote that list has no clue what the hell they're talking about.
It's true. The only game that I might consider scarier than Amnesia was the original Silent Hill. But only because
you were 12 at the time when you played it?
8. Yeah, 8 or 12. And I haven't played it since, but it was terrifying enough that I remember it.
Yeah.
So I might have to hook up an old N64 and try it. But
and then you'd be like, this doesn't seem to scare at all.
Probably. That would probably be the experience. I'd be like, this is no Amnesia. I would get in a van with whoever wrote this game and just leave it at that.
Okay, so we have talked way too long about this, but I'm just letting you guys know we're going to be doing a video. I don't know when it's going to get released. I wish we could do it literally live on Justin TV.
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome. But the bad thing is that as people writing back to us, we would have no idea what they're saying, because, again, it's like the screen of the game covers everything, because as soon as you add anything else, it's too bright, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the fear levels drop. So we start by playing games late at night, no lights on.
Out.
Yeah, dark outside, no lights on in the house. Headphones have to be on. Volume of the game has to be pretty solid, so you can hear all the moaning, groaning, creaks, and whatever going on.
Yep.
And John wears a blankie.
I do wear a blankie. It makes me feel safe. All right.
Oh, this is so awesome. I'm looking forward to it. We're doing the gameplay later on. We're going to start filming later tonight if we can. Whoa, what is all that? I'm getting echo feedback on your end. There we go. Oh, no. Still hear the feedback. Must be Uvu. Uvu, great job, guys. So anyways, we're going to start filming tonight. We're going to release as we can. If the game takes longer than a single night to get through, again, because of the review, I get the sense that it's a really short game. But if it takes more than a night to get through, then we will do our best to release footage to you Tuesday morning, maybe. And then Tuesday night, we're going to get right back to it. The only caveat being that our time window of being able to play the game shrinks on Tuesday and Wednesday due to real life issues. So Monday we have the greatest chance of success to get through the entire game.
Okay. Difficulty rating 7, scare factor 9.5, main story arc 12 and a half hours.
Oh man, I don't know if are you going to have 12? I don't think I'm going to have 12 and a half hours. Because the bad news is that... I
won't have 12 and a half hours in me.
Because the thing is, if we play too long, then morning comes and it's light outside and it's not as scary.
We might have to break it up into 2 days.
Yeah, might have to break it up into 2 days.
Which is fine.
So anyways, like I said, this is a teaser trailer for it, kind of. Hope you guys are excited about it. I know we are. You're going to get a sense of the game. And if you like laughing at people who are totally freaked out, come back. We'll see you later.
And check out last year's video, too.
Oh, yeah. We'll put a little thing so you can link to it in the description area below, as well as an annotation and a preview clip of that video right now.
Yeah.
What'd you say, John?
People who are watching probably want to turn down the volume because I scream like a girl a lot.
Oh, right. Of the YouTube video? Yeah. See, why is my guy kneeling down and getting all...
He's getting like...
Yeah.
He's getting like...
You must have gotten to the desk.